This is for you who has submitted to doing God's will and you're just wondering, like, God, when will this wilderness season come to an end? Here's a word of encouragement for you. You know, Joseph in the Bible, he was in prison for a long period of time, but by seeing the end of his story, we get to understand that everything that happened to Joseph happened for a reason. All those times he spent in prison, it was definitely not in vain. It was literally God training him to become the prime minister of Egypt. Submit to the process, submit to what it is that God is doing in you in this season. Yes, you have accepted his will, and now you're saying, God, let your will be done. But we also need to drop every other thing. We need to submit that frustration, that struggle of just get me out of this season like as soon as possible. We need to also drop that at the feet of Jesus and just say, Lord, let your will, even in this frustration, even in this suffering, all of these things I feel right now, let your will be done. I know that you're working something out for my good. I know that you're doing something. This entire period is not in vain. I am sure that once I am ready, I'm coming out as gold out of this fire. We need to just submit to that process and let the good work that God is doing in us be complete. Another thought, Esther had to be treated, not just Esther, but every other person too in that harem that was being prepared to go meet the king. They had to be prepared for about a year with different kinds of oil, and Esther got special treatment, you know, with the help of someone who knew the king, who knew probably what the king would want. And she had to go through a process before getting to that point where she met the king and she found favor with him and everyone who laid eyes on her, and then she was crowned queen. So once again, this is just to encourage you that the time you're spending with God, the time you're spending in the secret doing the things that God would have you do right now, where you're not gaining recognition, no one knows you, it is not in vain. Remember Joseph, remember Esther, remember all these people that we read about. Once God saw that they were ready, he turned things around for them. God will not give you something that he knows would end up destroying you because you're not ready for it. Just like he won't build a shallow foundation and start laying bricks on it. This is God laying or having you lay solid foundation for that castle, for those, castles that he would have you build. And remember that the kind of foundation you lay would be determined by the kind of building or the kind of structure you're trying to build. So look at your life, look at the training God is having you go through. Do you really think that all of this can be likened to a bungalow kind of building, a bungalow kind of structure? God has promised, and he definitely will stay true to his words. He will definitely not give you more than you can bear. So don't lose hope. Stay strong, stay courageous, do the work God has asked you to do. In due time, you reap that bountiful harvest. God bless you. Stay blessed and thrive gracefully. Bye bye.